If you're over 40 and you want to age like a baddie, having a bigger belly is zero excuse not to dress cute. So I'm going to show you exactly how to dress your belly, fupa, apron belly, so that you look snatched, stylish, and grown woman fine. Let's go. All right, now after 40, there is a lot going on in our bodies. And I talk about the beauty related stuff over my beauty channel. Go ahead and check that out. But namely, as our hormones shift, metabolism slows, and fat redistributes, that can mean yesterday's belly is not today's belly. Now, we could feel defeated about that, or better yet, we can remember that life begins after 40, and we can adjust the styling to look our best as we work on exercising and eating healthier. Look, I ain't with the I'ma dress cute when I get to my goal weight BS that, some of y'all be nah, dress cute at all of the stages. So let's get a few of the don'ts out of the way before we get to the fun stuff that's gonna make you look even more amazing. All right, now, I'm not trying to tell you what to wear. I think I've established that many times in many videos here on this channel. However, if you are looking to camouflage a belly, a bigger belly, you might want to avoid these 3 big mistakes. Number 1, the oversized shapeless tops. Because the thing with the oversized shapeless tops is that I think what you're trying to do is not draw any attention to the bigger belly area, but you're actually kind of doing the opposite and you're making it be a little bit more apparent. And there's just so many flyer ways to dress than to be wearing something that's oversized and shapeless, and we're gonna get into that. Now 2, super clingy, thin fabrics. Now, some people go the opposite. You either going with the oversized and the shapeless, or you with the super clingy and thin. Neither one is going to be your friend, okay? And neither is number 3, which are low-rise bottoms or any type of bottoms that have a lot going on at the waistline that is going to add visual bulk. So you can think of things like paper bag waist pants, or skirts or shorts bottoms, origami waist, ruffles. There's ways that you can strategically dress around that, but for the most part, a lot of times those things are going to make the bigger belly area look even bigger. And if that's not what you're trying to do, that's not what you're trying to do. But knowing what can make you feel really good and look really good might not be that intuitive, and that is where I come in to help you. And no, it doesn't mean that you gotta wear all black all the time. We gotta let go of these antiquated ideals of, how to look slimmer when you're getting dressed. Like, we off that. Because heck, you can even wear all white and still camouflage a bigger belly. Now, I'm getting ready to show you some examples of things that are going to help you to snatch that midsection that you can actually shop from this video. However, before I get into that, first let's talk about one of the easiest ways that you can figure out how to camouflage a bigger belly, and that is lines. As I mentioned in a lot of my videos, it is so important to understand lines and how they can make or break the way that you look in your clothing. So, horizontal lines, shorten and widen. You wear them in areas where you want to shorten and widen. You avoid them in areas where you don't want to shorten and widen. Vertical lines, lengthen and lean. You wear them in areas where you want to lengthen and lean. You avoid them in places where you don't, okay? Then diagonal lines divide. You wear them in areas where you want some division, and you avoid them in areas where you don't want to create division. Okay, got it? Okay, good. Now, let's look at some examples that you can shop right in the description box, or if it's available in YouTube shopping, it'll pop up here in the video itself, but more likely than not, if it is not popping up, it is in the description. Okay, so first is H&M wrap blazer. Wrap blazers are amazing for camouflaging bigger bellies, apron bellies, fupas. It's amazing for that. Take a look at this H&M wrap blazer. Now, the diagonal line that wrap blazers create helps to divide a bigger midsection whilst keeping you looking snatched. So this one from H&M, it's $59.99. Well, at the time of me filming, it could, be on sale by the time you watch this or whatever. But if you're interested in getting it, I would suggest acting quickly, because you could be watching this video, and it's gone, okay? But what I also love about it is that it also includes a tie, so you can determine the level of snatchedness you want in your look. Another example, I love the faux leather wrap detail on this Eloquy wrap blazer. Now that design in the back, it just adds a fun element of design, plus it adds texture to the look, an added layer of texture, and you also have that diagonal line in the front that's going to help to camouflage a bigger belly. Now, this Melina satin white wrap blazer is proof that not only can you wear white, but you can also wear shiny fabrics and still get that snatched look. And that is all because of the detailing here. It even has a tie. So again, much like the H&M one, you can adjust your level of snatchedness. Now, what do you pair with these wrap blazers? Basically any bottom that's not gonna have a lot going on at the waistband. So things that are typically flat front, not a whole bunch of belts and bows and detailing at the waistline, because those are all things that are gonna add visual bulk to a bigger belly. There ain't nothing wrong with a bigger belly. However, if you're trying to camouflage it, like one day you're like, look, this girl gotta, you know, we gotta calm her down a little bit. You don't want to add visual bulk on top of that because it's gonna do the opposite of what you was trying to achieve. But let's look at some styling ideas. So this look keeps it very simple but very, very chic, and she has on some plain, I can't tell what the front of the pants are doing, but I'm gonna assume that they're flat front because you're not seeing like that any bulkiness protruding through. We can't see her waistband of whatever it is that she's wearing. It looks like either pants or maybe some jeans. They look like they're straight leg, but you're not seeing any bulkiness coming from the midsection. So I'm gonna assume that these are flat front, and that's what you want to pair something like that with, because you don't want to take away from all the snatchedness that the wrap in the diagonal line that the wrap is making is giving you in the midsection by wearing some bulky ass pants. Now this look, oh my god, I love this. It's so streamlined, it's giving you that snatchedness, and it's so feminine and fun and flirty. But here's some more iterations of the same look. This one is really cute for spring. For summer, maybe you opt for linen or other similarly light fabrics so that, you know, you're not sweating up all over the place. Then for fall and winter, either you layer up or you wear a heavier fabric so that you can keep nice and warm and toasty. Now, the thing is with this silhouette, you got to keep proportion in mind. You don't want to pair a too long jacket with a very long skirt because it's easily going to give Little House on the Prairie. Now, if a blazer isn't your thing or you want some more variety, wrap shirts come into play here. And they can give you that same belly slimming effect. Now, this one from Revolve I love because it gives you so many different styling options, and if one piece can give you different styling options like that, whether they're built in or you can take some pieces from some accessories from your closet like a belt, or maybe even kind of MacGyvering something together with like a ribbon or what have you, or some thread or whatever. But I like that it's already built in here because it's like, wow, it's like buying a couple of shirts in one, right? But I do like it better with the, you know, with the diagonal cinching. It just looks a little bit more. But keep in mind, with these wrap tops, not any old wrap top will do. You still want to keep structure in mind, because when you look at a wrap shirt quite like this one, where it's like kind of too lax, it can add visual bulk on the belly area. Not you probably don't want that. You don't want that, because the whole idea in this video is dressing for a bigger belly. You know what I mean? Now, this wrap top from Anthro gives you 2-in-1 sensation. You know, sensation, because not only are you getting that diagonal with the wrap, but you're also getting that slimming motion with the ruching as well. So it's like double team. It's like, boom, I'm gonna give you a diagonal line, but also boom, I'm gonna give you some ruching. And it looks super comfortable to wear, and it still gives you some structure. I also really love this Topshop button down, which gives you some freedom in styling depending on, you know, kind of like where you place things. It also comes in white, and it also comes in purple, you know, solid color. So you got the purple with the stripes, solid white, and then the solid purples. And as I mentioned before, everything, y'all gotta be quick with this. If you're trying to shop this video, you gotta be real quick with it, and, you know, get in the description, or some things where available will be in YouTube shopping. And then when it comes to styling, you can style these wrap shirts the same way or in similar ways as I showed you with the wrap blazers. Now, say, you know, you want more options, I got you. So say you want the snatchedness of the diagonal line, but you don't want like the actual, you know, extra material or what have you. You can also do this with diagonal lines and patterns like prints. Now, this chevron top is like mwah when it comes to snatching, because not only is it featuring diagonal lines, but they're featuring diagonal lines that meet together, that form the beautiful V that really, really helps to snatch a midsection together. Ditto with this one from INC. But do you remember when INC first came to Macy's? Macy's. Like I remember thinking like back in the day, like, oh. So I'm gonna assume like if you're watching this channel, you're around my age or, you know, like we're contemporaries, right? So do you remember when Macy's first brought the INC line? Like that INC line has gotta be at least 30 years old by now, right? And I like that throughout the years, they've been very innovative with the styling and the offerings at, you know, pretty decent price. So just last year, I joined the Macy's Style Crew, which is a collective of influencers. And, you know, we go to Macy's events and, you know, we talk about Macy's clothing and stuff like that. But I joined them after shopping a bunch of times at Macy's on my own last year and realizing like, yo, Macy's is not playing with us when it comes to the fashions. Now, Macy's and I have had a long history. You know, when before there was A&S and then there was Stearns and then Macy's bought them. I loved to shop at Macy's when I was a teenager in my early 20s. But then there was a long time where I was like, yo, what is Macy's doing? Like, y'all okay? But let me tell you something. I don't know when the change happened, but for me, I noticed it last year. Macy's is on point. They're not playing with us. Now, inventory and the way the stores look might vary from state to state, city to city. I live in New York City, biggest city in the United States. When stores come to New York City, they tend to try to show out because biggest city in the United States. However, you know, if your local Macy's is some rinky-dinky, stuck in 1987 type of place, go online because online there's so many brands that we love that are sold at Macy's. And what's great about that is, you know, Macy's always has a sale, so you can get things that you love at a better price. So I'm talking Mango, Nasty Gal. I haven't really bought anything, not really. I've never bought anything from Good American, but they got that too. They've got Avec La Fille, Free People. They got J-Lux Label. Like if you haven't looked at Macy's in a while, like just go look on their website, okay? Because they coming through. Now, diagonal lines, whether they're, you know, in the pattern or they're being formed by some sort of detailing on a top, those aren't the only ways to slim a bigger midsection, but that's the only ways I'm going to talk about in this video because I figured let me make this short. But I can, you know, do a series of these type of videos on styling a bigger belly, you know, depending on how well this one does. But let's quickly talk shapewear. Now, the thing with shapewear, right? Being on the internet is really funny, right? Because I've become so numb to the things that people get upset about or the way that people react to me for things that I'm like, wow, you're upset about that? Like I've become so numb to it that when someone like insults me or has a really strong opinion against something that I said, it's just like, okay. And the same thing is when it comes to shapewear, because if I mention shapewear, I know that there's going to be people. But let me tell you something, right? I understand the sentiment because shapewear back in the day used to be some, you know, sadomasochist kind of, you know, very tight punishment wear, right? However, shapewear these days, there's so many different brands in the game. There's so many different types of shapewear. You don't have to wear something that's gonna make you have to bust out an inhaler in order to wear it, okay? Now, the thing is, when it comes to certain clothing that you wear, and if you're trying to camouflage certain things, sometimes having that smoothing foundation is necessary. I hate to say the word necessary, but if you're trying to look a certain way, it's necessary. And then you always have the folks like, oh, you being lazy, why don't you just lose some weight? Okay, but who? How you know they're not trying to lose weight? What they supposed to be wearing while they trying to lose the weight? A garbage bag? Like, come on now. Like I said in the beginning of this video, you're gonna be cute at all of the stages. Plus, some people, no matter how much weight they lose, no matter how much muscle tone that they have, they still are going to need a smoothing foundation underneath certain outfits. Ain't no shame in that. Now, we went over some shapewear options that people on TikTok seem to love, and they were trying them on. And I like that because people with different body types and shapes and whatnot, trying stuff on so you can kind of get an idea how something might look like on you. And we covered it in this video right here. Click on it and I'll see you there.